I've been helping thousands of photographers on their way from beginners to even professional photographers in my Facebook beginners group. And I can tell you that many of them hamper their progress by tapping into the if only trap. I regularly do that myself, so let me tell you what it is all about and how you can avoid making the same mistake. Here's an example. I decided to create a new series of YouTube videos like this one, shorter videos with personal experience, less polished than my photography course, but still nice to look at. So I started to change the setup in my basement. I had quite a few ideas in mind and could have immediately started filming. Instead, what I did was think, oh, this blank wall in the background is boring. If only I had a nice shelf in the background. So I went out to buy a new shelf. I bet you guys wouldn't have bothered at all whether there was a shelf or not. Then, after I have set up the shelf, I thought, if only I could light the shelf with colored lights. And that again took more than a week until I found the right lights, ordered them, set everything up. So what was meant to be simple became another much bigger project, probably more out of procrastination and false perfectionism than real need. As I said, you would have probably watched anyway, even without the lights in the shelf. So what kept me from starting much sooner was tapping into that very if only trap. If only I had a shelf and colored lights, I could take a great video. But I could have easily made a video without these. That was the lighter version of the if only trap. It gets even worse when it comes to other excuses. If only I had another camera that would give me lower nose when I shoot in bad lighting. If only I had another lens so I could create a much shallower depth of focus in the portraits that I want to shoot. Those are gear-related if only traps, but wait, there are even more traps. If only I had a model at hand, then I could practice taking portraits. If only it was summer, then I could shoot macro images of insects. If only I lived in the mountains, then I could photograph skiing. If only I had the money to travel to Greece, then I could take the same great images others do. The list goes on, and as I said, I'm guilty of that too. I live in the suburbs of Vienna, a fantastic city that people come to from all over the world, and I think, if only I could go to Budapest, it's such a beautiful city. Again, others live in Budapest and think, if only I could go to Vienna because I've seen so many great images from that city. Let me tell you, we are all stupid. The biggest reason why we are not taking those great shots is because we don't go out and photograph. Even if we came to those fantastic places, we wouldn't be able to get the great images we saw from others because we didn't practice. If you don't practice, you have no idea how to plan a shot to be at a certain spot at the right time of the day. You even have no idea that a few tweaks in Lightroom will make boring shots worth looking at. What makes you really good instead is just going out and working around the limitations that you have. Don't get me wrong, I am the last person that will tell you gear doesn't matter, but there are areas of photography where gear doesn't matter nearly as much as learning the craft will. So how do you get out of this trap? First, let me recommend taking my Wolf Method photography course. That will make setting your camera second nature without even having to leave your house, teach you composition and finding the right light. With that knowledge, you just need to go out and photograph. Start with the most basic things around you, no matter if you live in the city or in the countryside. Practice composition and seeing the light. Get an eye for making boring things worth looking at. Find pride in using your camera in ways hardly anybody else does in your area, instead of looking at other things that are often impossible to reach, at least in your current situation. Next, look for feedback. If you have enrolled to the Wolf Method, I'm happy to give you feedback in the course community. But if you don't, you can also search for feedback in a Facebook group. Yes, it's not a protected and nice environment like my community, and you might get some harsh comments, but don't get discouraged by these. Instead, ask those people who give you harsh critique how they think you could improve your shot. If they don't answer, they probably have no idea about photography and you can block them so that you don't see their future comments. If they do answer, you may be able to learn something. Don't make the mistake to get discouraged. You are still a beginner, so why should your images be flawless? I'm doing photography professionally for 20 years and I still love feedback from whoever has time to give me feedback. All I can do is learn. Don't feel like you have to be the best talent in the world. You probably aren't, and acknowledging that will speed up your photography learning dramatically. But what will speed it up most is the very affordable Wolf Method photography course with all its exercises and drill trainings. I'm looking forward to seeing you there.